All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Revolution STEMing Up Training for Coaches. We are very excited and very grateful to have you join us today. I am Doina, for who doesn't know me, the founder of Revolution, an organization that focuses on creating opportunities for young women to enter STEM careers. I have been working with Shopify for the last 4 years to develop the STEMing Up program, and I'm very happy to say that together we have supported about 70 young women over 3 years so far. So we look forward to doing more this year and are very grateful to be doing this with you as coaches. So let's jump right into it. Your facilitators today are myself, Aditi, and Yatusha. Girls, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Hi, I'm Aditi, and I'm a high school student currently in grade 10. I'm also a former STEMI Up student participant. I started the STEMI Up program in 2019 and completed my second year in 2020. After completing the program, I decided to volunteer at Revolution to support other girls who have been given this amazing opportunity.
Hi, my name is Yatusha and I'm in grade 11. And I, like Aditi, am a former student in the STEMing Up program. I also joined the program in 2019 and completed my second year in 2020. Completing the program helped me participate in my first international hackathon and continue volunteering with Revolution to inspire other girls in STEM.
Amazing. Thanks for helping out today. So let's begin by going over the agenda. Today we'll be covering three things: what the STEMing Up program is, what a coach is and how they're involved, and responsibilities as a coach along with tips. Let's start by talking about the STEMing Up program.
The STEMI Up program equips young women ages 13 to 17 with confidence, skills, professional portfolios, and networks to pursue fulfilling careers in STEM industries. This is the fourth year running this program, and we've already come so far. The program has supported young women who have successfully pursued post-secondary education in universities such as U of T, Ryerson, Western, Waterloo, York, and Carleton University, not to mention Shopify's very own Dev Degree program. The program is separated into two phases. Phase 1 begins on July 26th and ends on August 20th. The phase is a month-long bootcamp where young women will focus on ideation and creating solutions to business challenges. They will do this while working on a marketing plan and researching business and financial concepts. Speakers on these topics will help the students understand business solutions. Additionally, the students will learn how to code in one Python cohort and one JavaScript cohort. There are 5 teams per cohort, each working toward the best solution for each challenge partner. Phase 1 will then end with the creation of the pitch decks for students to share their solutions with the challenge partners.
Since the girls will work towards creating a pitch deck with their solution, you should encourage them to incorporate some coding in the deck. The completion of these decks will be shared to mark the end of phase 1 on demo day. This will be on August 20th, as mentioned earlier. On this day, both teams who have worked on the same challenge will have 10 minutes to pitch their solution to the challenge partner and the panel of judges. The judges will listen to both pitches and share 1 or 2 things they loved about each idea, in addition to some constructive feedback. Students from both teams will come together in phase 2 as one development team and will help, with the help of their coaches, make an action plan to turn their challenge partner's chosen idea and feedback into one final product.
That's right. Then the girls will go on to phase 2 of the program. Phase 2 starts on September 13 and ends on December 18. Coaching sessions will take place on Saturdays for 1 hour, and coaches will give students the guidance to complete their projects. Although not everyone here will be a phase 2 coach, we think it is still worth mentioning since you are playing a big part in preparing the students for the upcoming phase. We would like to have you join us for phase 2 if your capacity to take on the role changes in the future. Phase 2 will be focused on the girls continuing to work with coaches and refining their solutions based on the feedback challenge partners share on demo day. We will have more details on phase 2 at a later time and will be hosting a coaching social and training on September 1st to have you share information with phase 2 coaches and support them in preparation for that phase. We'll send you a calendar invite for this, so please look out for it.
We've covered what the program looks like in both phases, and we'll now cover the purpose of coaching and how it works in a little more detail. I'll get us started. Coaches are a very important piece of the program. The purpose of coaching session is to connect industry professionals like yourself with a team of students working on a business challenge. Coaches are meant to provide guidance to the students while they work on achieving their goals and complete their projects. This involves setting and meeting deadlines and supporting the girls to overcome obstacles they face throughout the project. Now we'll cover how coaching works and how you can be the best coach to support the students.
Firstly, you'll be paired with another coach. Then both of you will be paired with a team of 3 to 5 students to work on your business challenge. Your other coach will be there to ensure you have extra support. You will spend about 6 to 8 hours over the course of 4 weeks in phase 1 with your team. Scheduled coaching sessions with your team are twice a week on Wednesday afternoons from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and Friday mornings from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. If there are any sessions you cannot attend, please communicate that with your pair coach and students. For the students, it'll be a valuable lesson in communication during group work.
During coaching sessions, please give your team feedback and share any resources to support learning and completion of projects. To set you up for success, we will share with you the business challenges the students will be working on before the program starts. You're encouraged to read them, and if you would like to get a step further, you can set up a plan ahead of time for the students with action items.
What does it take to be a good coach? It's pretty simple. A good coach has to be a resourceful team player. You definitely don't need to know it all as long as you're willing to help the girls figure it out, whether that's asking a pair coach, coworker, or even using Google. As the girls learn to code, supporting them through that is helpful. However, the primary focus of phase 1 is guiding the girls as they find a solution, researching, and creating a pitch deck. We hope you can help the girls learn about project management, pitching skills, and business development. Most importantly, coaches need to be passionate about supporting young women and seeing them complete their goals. This program is meant to benefit you as much as the students, so we want this to be a great experience for you as well. Now, we'll cover some responsibilities you will hold as a coach.
First and foremost, we think it's important that you keep an open mind. Students in this program come with mixed backgrounds and life experiences. Listening to them and meeting them where they are while pushing them kindly is the best way to support students and the success of their projects. This will also allow you to understand each individual in your team and how to guide the team as a whole. To review your responsibilities, coaches should be passionate about helping their team achieve project completion, be resourceful and share knowledge, listen to the needs of the students, facilitate and encourage team and relationship building, guide teams through goal setting and achievement, advise and problem solve with teams on their projects, and support students to maintain self-confidence while working on their project and as a team. As you work with teams through their projects, it's important to check if the students understand the material. Here are some ways to achieve that. Set goals and make sure they're met before moving on to new goals. Ask lots of questions throughout your sessions to make sure that students are feeling comfortable with all the new information and to help them with any obstacles that they have encountered. Leave room at the end of each session for open-ended discussions or questions. At the end of each week, fill out your weekly summary with your team to review where the team is and to help coaches from phase 2 with context. Keep the diverse backgrounds of students in mind. Use the listening first approach as a tool to support each student's learning style while in the program.
I just wanted to come back to in case you're wondering where the weekly summary will be, we will share that with you. The reason why so many young women join this program is to build the skills needed in today's marketplace. And some of the skills included, some of the skills that include in terms of reaching out those the marketplace goals are good communication, critical thinking, and teamwork. Coaches help them to strengthen those skills while gaining the confidence to pursue a career in technology. This is our goal at Revolution. It is important to think about how you will inspire your students and consider what you want them to take away from this opportunity. An effective coaching relationship is characterized by mutual respect, trust, understanding, and empathy. Good coaches are good listeners, good observers, and good problem solvers. They make an effort to know, accept, and respect the goals and interests of the students. In the end, they establish an environment in which the student's accomplishments is limited only by the extent of his or her talent. Some things to be mindful of when working with young women in the program are you are a role model, and this is important, and we encourage you to treat your role that way. Cameras cannot always be on. Although we ask all students to keep their cameras on during sessions, it is important to understand that the majority of our students deal with conditions at home that they may not always allow for camera on sessions. Please encourage them to turn their cameras on as often as they're able to, or ask them to use a virtual background. If there are any situation where a student never has their camera on, please reach out to the program coordinator or even to myself to figure out how we can support them. They may not always ask how to find they may not always know how to find something. And when that happens, instead of saying, oh, it's easy to find it online, try asking, do you need help finding it? Be vulnerable. Outside of technical ability, they also navigate in building soft skills. Sharing that there are some things that you may not know as well can be an eye opener for them. During this time, some students may be going through some mental health challenges. If you notice some students are behind or not participating, please do not make them feel bad in front of others. Send me or the program coordinator a message and we'll work together to support that students and their team. Should any issues be disclosed with our team, we will notify you so that you can be aware of them ahead of time. So please remember that this is confidential. This information is strictly confidential and is only shared with you to support the students and their learning and not the team members. So please do not share with the team members. So just keep that for yourself. If they want to share that with their team, that really is up to them.
We've shared a lot of information with you. Now we'll answer some common questions you get and end today's session with any new questions from you. How do we set our teams up for success? Create a minute meeting document and ensure each team member takes turn taking minutes during each meeting. Use this as a good way to also create weekly checklists to help you with goal setting and reviewing those goals. At the end of each week, you can work with your team to fill out the weekly summary to keep updated on what happened each week.
What if I can't make a session? Great question. We ask that you communicate with your peer coach and let them know that you cannot make it and ask them to update you on what was discussed. Make sure your team is taking minutes and ask them to share that with you. Minutes will be helpful to anyone else who may not be able to make it to all the sessions to still keep up with the team. Can my co-coach and I trade off weeks? Ideally, it would be great to have you both there, unless there's a situation where one of you cannot make it. Although we encourage you to be at sessions together, we understand that special circumstances come up. If you absolutely cannot make it on certain weeks, please reach out to the program coordinator and let the other coach know so that they can be prepared for the session accordingly.
How do I communicate with my team? You'll be added to Slack before the program starts. The two most important channels to take note of are the 2021 coaches. This is where you can interact with the other coach and get help with if you need it. And your team channel. This is where you can communicate directly with your team about goals, the projects, and just check in with your team. In addition to Slack, you will have your bi-weekly team meetings on Google Meet.
Who do I reach out to if I need help? I'm sure you asked yourself this question already. So depending on what you need, you can reach out in the coaching Slack channel for support or resources, or if it's something personal, you can reach out to the internal contact at your company or to the program coordinator at our organization, or you can just reach out to me.
We are now at the end of our training and I'm sure that you have questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask us, or you can add your questions to the chat and we'll be sure to answer them for you.
Yes, any questions?
I have a beginner's question.
Yes.
So for the participants, is this what they're doing all week?
I'm
For
not sure what you
for
mean.
the students, like, is this their main activity? How much of their time are they spending working on, like, between our coaching sessions?
So they work Monday to Friday. They're in the program Monday to Friday. Morning sessions, they have, they learn things like marketing, financing, how to pitch, how to put together a pitch deck. They do research, branding. So we have all these sessions that they get to learn. Then they have coding sessions for 2 hours per day. They also have on Mondays and Fridays, they have group work where they get to work with their group on their pitch deck and their solutions. And they work with you on Wednesdays for 1 hour and also on Friday for 1 hour. They have that work with you. A lot of the times what we had in the past is when students or even the coaches, they wanted to participate even more with, to support the students. That really is up to you and the team to figure out, any questions in between. That's, this is why we create our Slack channels for you to communicate, to start that conversation there as you see fit and whatever works for you and the team. Did I answer the question?
Yeah. I was curious between the coaching, what was going on. That's helpful. Is there a
Yeah.
place where that material or curriculum is all like where we can kind of have some context of what they've been learning?
We're going to share with you an itinerary. So you're going to have all the lessons that they're learning. I encourage you as a coach, I encourage you to ask them to share that with you as much as possible, what they learn. The curriculum is all over the place, and some of the stuff is created by the speakers, which might be their proprietary information. We might not want to share that because, unless we ask for permission. But as a good rule of thumb, it's also a good practice to ask the students what they learn, and this way you can figure out how far they are with the learning. Once you have the itinerary and you have the topic and what they're supposed to learn, they have, the outcomes of that session, then you can figure out whether they have learned it or not.
Thanks, Donna.
And yes, we can share the deck for reference, absolutely. And we're also going to have this as a recorded session, so we can share that as well. When do the participants find out the business problem they're trying to solve? We're actually going to let them know next week. They get to know this ahead of time. So we ask them to fill out a survey with, to pick the top 3 challenges, and then we're going to assign them this, their group next week, so they're ready, mentally preparing for what they're going to work on. We're also going to share that with you on Slack. We're going to share the challenges so that you can learn more about it as well before. And so when you meet with the students, you're both prepared. How many students will be in each group? You'll have up to 5 students in the group from the coaching group.
I got a question for you, Doina.
Yes.
Last year when I was coaching, I think we were a little bit unsure of how much we should focus on helping our group with the programming part of it versus like preparing their pitch and actually focusing on that presentation and all the information they should include in it. And I think with our group, we definitely focused a bit too much on the programming at the start, and then they weren't as prepared for the pitch.
Right.
So then we like rushed that towards the end.
Yes.
What do you recommend for that balance there? Like, should we be focusing on helping them with programming at all, or should we save
Good
that for maybe
questions,
the
Sabrina.
end?
This is a great question. Thank you for that. So
You're
we have
welcome.
our coding trainers that we're hiring to help them with their coding. They are going to be available to come in during your coaching sessions if you need them. We will add them to your
Nice.
Slack, to their team. You will be added to their team, so they can come in, and they are the ones to help them, supposed to help the students with the actual coding. And what your job would be to help them figure out how all of that learning that they are working on fits into their pitch deck, and how
Okay.
that would be. We'll have the coding trainers to help with that. The coding trainers not only will help them with the coding for 2 hours, but they get to jump in their sessions when they have the students group work, but also coaching. So they'll just, especially on Wednesdays, they'll be able to come there on Wednesdays for sure.
Okay, perfect. So I guess we'll focus a lot more on getting all those brainstorming ideas and creating that pitch deck, creating the proper solution, all that stuff. Okay,
Yes.
awesome.
It's important for the coaches to understand coding, because you kind of have everybody's on the same, right? But you don't necessarily have to know all the coding, because we have the coding trainers to help with that.
Sounds good. Thanks, Doina.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any more questions? Any more questions? No more questions? Oh, wow, we covered it all. This is amazing.
I'll ask one more.
Yes, ask as many as you have. Yes.
So is it the pitches are they are pitching solutions to a problem that they've selected? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll have, as we mentioned, we have cohort Python and cohort JavaScript. So the idea is we have 10 different, this may sound a bit complicated, that actually is. So we have 5 challenges. There will be 5 teams per cohort. So 5 teams in Python, 5 teams in JavaScript. Each team from each cohort, so let's just say team 1 in Python and team 1 in JavaScript, they were focused on the same solution. So they both, on their own way, they get to create, so they go to work towards the same solution. So they find solution to the same challenge. Let me say it that way. They find solution to the same challenge. And on August 20th, when they get to, to pitch their solution, they're not supposed to know about each other's whatever they come up with. They get to pitch that. They get to reveal their, their solution on August 20th. And what happens is our challenge partner, they will come back and say, I really like what they did, like this part of, from Python, they had amazing ideas, but I also like what they did in JavaScript. So what we do at the end of phase 1, we pair the 2 groups and they take the best solutions to come up with one end product by the end of December. So in phase 2, we'll be putting together the best ideas to just make one. So they will still work together, but now come up and work towards execution, if that makes any sense.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. More questions? Please ask me because I want to be able to answer as many as possible.
Is this the first time that some of these students will be participating in this program, or are they able to participate in it year over year as well?
The way that the program works, students are able to come back in the program the second year if they've already participated last year. We only have about 11 students that are coming back this year from last year. They've already graduated, so they moved on to the next things. And so, but we do have a lot of new students that are coming up this year. We're trying to mix them as much as possible so that they can have, they're starting fresh with their ideas. So even though they came back last year, if they were in Python, so they learned Python last year, they get to learn JavaScript this year. That would be the only thing that they're learning new. Coming back, well, they also get to focus on the challenge and then the new challenge, new ideas and new solutions. And if they learned JavaScript last year, they learned Python this year. Did that make sense?
Yep, thank you.
No problem. More questions? All right, so looks like we're going to finish early, which is really good. So before I go, actually, I wanted to come back to mention some key dates. So the opening ceremony will be on July 26th. I've already sent some calendar invites as optional. So if you want to join, it would be really great so that you can get inspired by what the work the students will be doing. Demo day is on August 20th. So if you're interested in being a judge for the pitches, please let us know. The coaching, social, and training will be on September 1st. And this will be the opportunity for you to touch base with phase 2 coaches, share some context about how the program and teams have been doing so far. And we'll send out calendars invite for that. If you're coming back on phase 2, even better. And then with that, I can just say this is it. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We're very excited to have you in the program. I'm so excited. I think you can see that on my face. I'm very excited to have you in the program. And I hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you.